Hello friends, in this video we are going to discover the top 10 best places to live in South Dakota. With Rapid City, Custer State Park, and Wild Cave National Park all on your doorstep, we need not write out a list of reasons to fall in love with South Dakota. This sparsely populated state can be found deep in the Midwest, nestled between its northern sister, Nebraska, Wyoming, and Minnesota too. Lest we forgot that the northwestern edge of South Dakota shares a border with Montana, and the very southeastern corner brushes shoulders with Iowa. Neighboring in geography and by nature, wherever you choose to lay your hat in South Dakota, you can be sure you will be welcomed with open arms. With a great many neighborhoods and communities able to boast outstanding schools, low crime rates, and reasonably priced homes, there are so many options available in the state. Nature lovers and weekend explorers would easily fall in love with South Dakota. The Black Hills provide the perfect backdrop for day-to-day life. The weather in South Dakota is more than agreeable for most of the year, which is a major plus point for many people. Steeped in Native America history, you'll feel right at home, we're sure. Kindly make sure to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon before we start this video about the 10 best places to live in South Dakota. Now let's dig deeper into each of the top 10 best places to live in South Dakota. Number 10. Rapid City. Tucked away below Route 90, you will find Rapid City, lying east of the Black Hills National Forest. Also known as the gateway to Rushmore, Rapid City is home to 71,682 people. Good schools, good commuter routes, and great access to outdoor activities, there is little wrong with Rapid City. If you prefer to live in more rural areas, then you can scrub Rapid City off your list now. This is very much a city. There are lots of job opportunities in this area of South Dakota, mostly within the tourism and hospitality industry. Number 9. YANKTON. Perfectly placed on the banks of the Missouri River, you will find YANKTON. Home to a diverse community of people, YANKTON only narrowly misses out on being in the top 10 best places to live in South Dakota. Schooling options in YANKTON are varied, with the top 4 schools offering students a B-rated education standard. Local people note that it is the geography and the history that first drew them to YANKTON, but it is the homely community feel that made them stay. There is a great deal of history to learn about this city. A surefire way to find out more is to strike up a conversation at one of YANKTON's many bars, a great way to make new friends too. Number 8. Hot Springs. Although commonly known as Veterans Town, Hot Springs has a diverse population of 3,542 people. House prices here are almost insanely low, averaging at just $85,400. With median rent at $589, you would kick yourself for not looking at Hot Springs as a place to live in South Dakota. Being Veterans Town, there are not that many children living in the area. Only about 17% of the population are children, making for fewer schooling options. That said, schools available in Hot Springs are still above average. Just don't go expecting an inner-city high-flying school in this small, cozy city. Of course, Evans Plunge mineral springs are a big draw to the area. The novelty never wears off. The low crime rates are another big bonus point for Hot Springs, perhaps due to the aging population, but mostly down to the tight-knit Midwest community feel. Number 7. Vermillion. Transected by Highway 50 is Vermillion. With 10,746 people living in the town, there is lots going on here. Housing and jobs are both in high demand, but if you feel Vermillion is the place for you, you will make it work. The crime levels are fanatically low, and with a diverse community, there is lots to love about this area. Being right next to Highway 50 means that Vermillion is favorable with computers. Head west on Highway 50 to get onto Route 29, which leads you up to Sioux Falls, down to Sioux City, and eventually Kansas. There is a big student population here, making for a great nightlife scene enjoyed by all residents. Number 6. Pierre. Focusing on the positives first off, home value and median rent in Pierre is greatly affordable. Many homes have views of the Missouri River. Pierre is, in fact, the capital of South Dakota, home to just under 14,000 people. The downside to Pierre is the lack of A-rated public schools. This would be a deciding factor for many parents. On the other hand, however, the schools here are still performing well above average. All of the top 5 schools have a solid B rating. Locals say that the proximity to the river for camping, fishing, and boating are one of the many reasons they like living in Pierre. Number 5. Madison. Finishing up our top 5 best places to live in South Dakota is Madison. For those whose work takes them across the country, Madison is a great place to make a home and base yourself. Madison Airport connects you to 17 cities across the states daily, including Chicago, Boston, New York City, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. Median rent here is fantastically low, at just $472 a month. What is more, median home values are just $103,000. You will not be surprised to hear that Madison is the best place to buy a home in South Dakota. Couple this new knowledge with the fact that the cost of living is highly desirable too, and you've got yourself the dream combination. Number 4. Brandon. Just south of Highway Route 90 lies the medium-sized suburb of Brandon. With just under 10,000 people living there, the area has the perfect mix of town amenities but with a village community feel. This small but perfectly formed suburb is considered to be the best place to raise a family in South Dakota. With the second best public schools in the state, great access to outdoor activities and commuting opportunities for parents, the appeal to Brandon keeps on coming. 73% of residents live in owned homes, which goes a long way in understanding the happiness of residents. Local people really do wish to lay their roots here and stick it out for the long haul. With median home values at $177,300, living in Brandon is something to think about. Number 3. Sioux Falls. Although the city itself feels very built up, arguably Sioux Falls is one of the most picture-perfect places to live in South Dakota. Home to 164,000 people, this is one of the most densely populated parts of the state, which is no bad thing. Sioux Falls is one of the best cities to buy a house in all of the United States of America. With median home value coming in at $157,800, it is not hard to see why. Unbelievably, $129,500 can get you a 4-bedroom family home, complete with spacious garden and driveway. Of the top 5 public schools in Sioux Falls, all 5 have an A rating, significantly above average and consistently high performing. Number 2. Dakota Dunes. If you are looking to buy property in South Dakota, then Dakota Dunes should feature high on your list of options. Although median home value is $266,400, it is value for money we should be focusing on. For example, $129,950 will get you a 3-bedroom family home with 2 bathrooms. Home prices are always set to rise, so snap up your next home in Dakota Dunes while the price is right. There are lots of family-run local stores dotted around, providing you with everything from light bulbs to the weekly grocery shop. It always feels good to be able to support your local community and the economy too. Residents note that the low crime levels are a key factor in their happiness here. However, public transport in, out, and around Dakota Dunes is almost non-existent. For a small suburb of just 2,895 people, Dakota Dunes has a lot going for it. Number 1. Brookings. Out and out the best place to live in South Dakota is Brookings. Not only is it the best place to live in the state, but also proudly offers the best public schools too. In turn, unsurprisingly, Brookings has been rated as the second best place to raise a family in the state. Enough with the rankings, what makes Brookings so special? Local people say that it is the small-town feel, teamed with the large variety of student bars providing animated nightlife that make Brookings feel like home. With a strong student population, there is always something going on. Median home value and median rent both come in well below the national average, making this neighborhood all the more appealing. For those looking to save to get on the property ladder, then Brookings may be a good starting point. Median rent is $664 a month. With median home value at $159,400, saving for a deposit is far from aspirational. Safe, clean, and homely are the words that spring to mind when we think of Brookings. So, which is your favorite places among the top 10 best places to live in South Dakota? Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content of this video, click the subscribe button so you can receive more content like this. Post your favorite places among the top 10 best places to live in South Dakota in the comments below. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure others would too.